This is the Weekly Roundup here on EAC News Channel, your look back at the past week in the Kingdom of Wonder. A very good evening, I'm Darshana Gauchan. During the 3-day Chumben holiday in 2022, there were 34 traffic accidents across the country and 27 deaths. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more details.
According to a report from the General Commissioner of the National Police, between 24th and 26th September, during the Phnom Penh Festival, a total of 34 traffic accidents occurred across Cambodia, resulting in both deaths and injuries. A total of 84 people were injured in these accidents, including 34 serious injuries and 23 light injuries. There were also 27 deaths, which is an increase of more than half compared to the number of deaths recorded during Phnom Penh in 2021. The traffic accidents were caused by violations of speed limits and intolerant driving. During the Phnom Penh Festival in 2021, there were a total of 35 traffic accidents, resulting in 14 deaths and 64 minor injuries. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Ministry of Public Works and Transport has officially announced that the Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway will be open for free use from 1st to 31st October 2022 to promote and raise awareness of the first expressway built in Cambodia. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the Ministry of Public Works and Transport reminded all those who use the expressway to strictly abide by the rules and regulations to maintain order, safety, and prevent accidents that may increase when using this route. The ministry has also stated that the authorities and operators of the expressway have the right to refuse or allow any person of its use and can take legal action if any individuals are found to be not following instructions. The Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway is 187.05 kilometers long. The expressway began construction on 22nd March 2019. The 24-meter-wide road has 4 lanes as well as an emergency lane, was built with AC concrete flooring, and connects Phnom Penh to Sangkat 3 in Sihanoukville while passing through the provinces of Kandal, Kampong Spu, and Kokong. The expressway has 6 interchanges connecting to National Road No. 4, 3 rest stops, and 1 parking lot. The expressway can only be used by motorcycles that have a power of 500 cc or more, electric motorcycles with a minimum power of 27 kilowatts, and cars that can drive at a speed of 70 kilometers or more. The minimum speed to use this expressway is 60 kilometers an hour, and the maximum speed limit is 120 kilometers an hour for regular family cars, 100 kilometers an hour for heavy vehicles without trailers and motorcycles, and 80 kilometers an hour for trucks and cars with trailers. This expressway will help reduce transportation costs and save travel time, as it will only take about 2 hours to reach Sihanoukville from Phnom Penh. Previously, traveling by car to Sihanoukville would take 4 to 5 hours using National Road No. 4. Every week, CineHub in Phnom Penh hosts a cine-sharing session, inviting creatives working in the film and television industry to come and share their knowledge and experiences. Chum Sathia, one of Cambodia's top television commercial directors, was the featured guest on 9 September. EAC News attended this session to learn more about the television commercial industry that is now becoming more increasingly led by homegrown Cambodian talents. In his presentation, Sathia covered what a TVC production pipeline typically looks like and gave insights into the director's role in the production of a TVC. Sathia has been directing commercials in Cambodia for the past 6 years. His passion for film and TV began at an early age, partly because his father was a TV producer. He started out as a graphic designer, but it all changed when he received a scholarship to pursue a bachelor's degree in film production in South Korea. Upon his return to Cambodia, Sathia was quickly recruited by an advertising agency to direct TV commercials and has been doing that ever since.
When I got my scholarship, it was from Mr. James Lee. It was a private fund, and we had a goal to get the scholarship that we are committed to sharing our knowledge. It's also my passion to share what I know and what I learned to other people so that we can all grow together.
Before, it was commonplace to recruit directors and crew members from abroad to produce TVCs in Cambodia. However, local talents like Sathia are beginning to change this trend and promote homegrown production with less reliance on foreigners. That said, homegrown talents are still far and few between. Spaces like CineHub hope to provide resources and support to young, aspiring creatives to help the local industry grow.
We rarely talk about the the field of directing, because it's such a big field, it's such a complicated field. I always refrain from talking about it because I don't feel like I'm an accomplished director. I feel like there's so much room for me to learn. And but then if we don't talk about it, it becomes more and more strange to people, and becomes this obscure topic that we don't talk about.
Sathya also said he likes forums like this because it gives him a chance to speak with the audience and potentially learn something new.
Personally, I want to share this session in hope that I learn something new from the audience. Maybe when I say something, when I present it, I feel like, oh, could be better. Like I could do something better. Maybe I should think about something differently. So I look for that from the audience, but also I I hope that the audience will learn something from the industry, because we rarely talk about the commercial industry.
Audience members took part enthusiastically in the Q&A session after Sathya's presentation, appearing eager to learn more and get his professional advice. Samet Monivong, an editor at Business Cambodia, said he came to the session to learn more from experienced professionals like Sathya.
និយាយទៅខ្ញុំយល់ថាល្អដោយសារពេលដែលយើងមកទៅយើងបានឃើញពីបទពិសោធន៍របស់គាត់នៅពេលដែលគាត់រៀបចំថតនៅពេលគាត់ direct វាមានបញ្ហាច្រើនដែលយើងគិតថារឿងទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងយើងក៏ធ្លាប់ជួបខ្លះៗដែរតែគាត់យើងអត់ទាន់ជួបច្រើននេះគាត់នៅពេលដែលគាត់ប្រាប់មកយើងអាចយល់ថាយើងយកវាទៅដាក់ក្នុងការងារយើងងាយនឹងដោះស្រាយជាងល្អជាងមុនអញ្ចឹងបាទ
He added that seeing people like Chum Sathya in the industry makes him feel proud to be Cambodian.
ដឹងស្រាប់ថាចំនួនមុនអ្នកផលិត sport គឺខាងក្រៅទាំងអស់អញ្ចឹងពេលខ្លះវាផលិតមកsport មួយចំនួនគឺអត់សូវមានរសជាតិជាខ្មែរទេនៅពេលដែលខ្មែរយើងចាប់ដើមផលិតមានអារម្មណ៍ថាវារសជាតិគេហៅថារសនិយមមានថាវាចេញមកជារសដែលអីដែលយើងចង់បានហ្មងវាជាមោទនភាពមួយដែលខ្មែរយើងអាចធ្វើបាន
Another audience member, Leng Lan, who frequents Cinehub as both a film enthusiast and member of the industry, said she feels like she has learned a lot from these cine sharing sessions and was glad that she could catch Sathya's presentation.
I'm glad that I can make it this evening just to learn from one of the masters, because Sathya is very accomplished. I would say established TV commercial, or we say right now spot TV spot in Cambodia, and he basically directs all those mainstream and high profile brand in Cambodia, and it's very hands-on, it's a very practical experience that he share. So I benefit a lot by joining this session this evening.
She added that it is very encouraging to see a big group of film and TV enthusiasts and professionals all gathering together under one forum to listen and learn from industry experts.
As someone who also one of the film crew, I noticed the rise of the talent, the film talent in Cambodia, in TV commercial, in film shoot.
In the session, Sathya made it clear that what he shared should not be taken as a textbook example of how to enter or work in the industry, and is rather just a reflection of his personal experience. He explained that the film and TV industry is ever evolving, and working on fast-paced production sets requires a degree of flexibility. Even with an extensive pre-production planning period, the success of a production can often boil down to the director's ability to adapt to the environment and unexpected occurrences on set. Most of all, Sathya encourages all aspiring directors, whether commercial or art-focused projects, to keep expanding their horizons and to continue learning from watching films and from each other.
I think my message, as always, I hope that people watch a lot of films, like so many films, study different filmography, directors filmography, cinematographer filmography, writer, even producer, even like go to the depth and find these things to learn. There are so many things to learn from them, and the only thing with filmmaking is that we always learn from each other, and that's the only way to go. So keep going, keep watching, and hopefully they the audience will find themselves in the art that they do. I think that's the biggest objective of any artist, to find themselves. And with that, what filmmaking and film watching, film consumption helps to do that.
Prime Minister Hun Sen, the chairman of ASEAN in 2022, met with the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, and discussed the Russia-Ukraine war, the tensions in the South China Sea, and the ongoing Myanmar conflict. During a Tuesday morning meeting in Tokyo, Japan, the President of the European Council asked for the ASEAN chairman's views on the three stated issues. In response, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that on behalf of ASEAN, Cambodia has always tried to find solutions to the conflict in Myanmar, and regarding the South China Sea, the Code of Conduct for the South China Sea is currently in the negotiation process. Regarding the Russia-Ukraine war, Prime Minister Hun Sen said he remains committed to promoting honest and trustworthy dialogue. The President of the European Council thanked the ASEAN chairman for his views and added that although ASEAN and Europe may have differing views, it is important to increase cooperation between the EU and ASEAN, especially in relation to the political geography of the two regions, for ASEAN in relation to the South China Sea and Myanmar, and for Europe in relation to the Russia-Ukraine war. Prime Minister Hun Sen also invited President Charles Michel to attend the upcoming East Asia Summit and the ASEAN Global Dialogue in Cambodia in the near future. Prime Minister Hun Sen paid his last respects to former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at the Nippon Budokan Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. EAC News reporter Dekanin has a story.
Prime Minister Hun Sen was one of the more than 4,500 guests who attended the state funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Other world leaders attending included U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Abe's ashes were carried into the venue, and a tribute video honoring his life and career were played for guests to see. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida then delivered a memorial address praising Abe's courage and dedication. At the last farewell ceremony in front of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Mrs. Akiye Abe, Prime Minister Hun Sen and the attending delegation from Cambodia expressed their deepest condolences and respect over the loss of Shinzo Abe, who was considered an outstanding statesman of the country and people of Japan, as well as a dear friend of the country and people of Cambodia. Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated on the 8th of July 2022 while delivering a speech for the Japanese Senate election campaign in Nara, West Japan. Prime Minister Hun Sen described Shinzo Abe's death as not only a huge loss for Japan, but also like the loss of a truly good friend of the Cambodian people and the Prime Minister himself. He said Shinzo Abe had contributed to the development of Cambodia-Japan bilateral relations and had also helped boost Japan's development support to Cambodia as well. Dekanin, EAC News.
Future Prime Ministerial candidate Lieutenant General Hun Manait has addressed some analysts and asked them to look deeper into examples from around the world when analyzing the succession of politicians and the continuation of political families. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
Lieutenant General Hun Manait posted a clip from a speech he delivered at the 3rd September ceremony on his official Facebook page on Tuesday morning, the 27th of September, where he says that emotional analysts are the ones who make analysis through their emotions and without science. He implored such analysts to better understand the turn of politicians in Cambodia. Lieutenant General Hun Manait provided some examples of political families to illustrate how many politicians come from the same family lines. In the ASEAN region, there is Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong in Singapore, who is the son of former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, and the President Bongbong Marcos of the Philippines, who is the son of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was also the grandson of a prior Japanese Prime Minister. He added that even when looking at democracies like the United States, the 43rd President, George W. Bush, was the son of the 41st President, George Bush Sr. This also does not include examples of the line of politicians in parliament.
ឥឡូវវាមានអីខុសដែលមនុស្សនៅក្នុងវងតកូលអ្នកនយោបាយចាប់អាជីពជាអ្នកនយោបាយមានអ្វីខុសសម្រាប់មនុស្សនៅក្នុងគ្រួសារអ្នករស់ស៊ីអ្នកធុរកិច្ចចាប់អាជីពជាអ្នកធុរកិច្ចឥឡូវខ្ញុំសួរតើវាមានអីខុសបើអ្នកឪម្ដាយជាទាហានជាប៉ូលីសតែកូនមកចង់ចូលទាហានចូលប៉ូលីសមានអីខុសឥឡូវយើងចូលតាមនីតិវិធីឲ្យតែយើងត្រូវតាមគោលការណ៍
The eldest son of Prime Minister Hun Sen, Hun Manait, was elected by the CPP Central Committee on the 24th of December 2021 as the future prime ministerial candidate. Some analysts have said this purely an example of a father-to-child succession, to which Lieutenant General Hun Manet has responded by saying there is nothing in the laws and regulations of Cambodia that say this is wrong.
ទីមួយគឺគោលការណ៍ផ្ទៃក្នុងរបស់បកបាទការជ្រើសរើសខ្ញុំជាបេក្ខភាពនេះគឺមានការគ្រប់គ្រងពីអង្គសន្និបាតគណៈកម្មការកណ្ដាលគណៈបកកាលពីថ្ងៃទី24ខែធ្នូ 2024 ទី2ផ្អែកទៅលើគោលការណ៍ប្រជាធិបតេយ្យតែងតាំងខ្ញុំជ្រើសតាំងខ្ញុំជាបេក្ខភាពនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីមិនជ្រើសតាំងខ្ញុំជានាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីទេបេក្ខភាពបានន័យថាមានសិទ្ធិត្រឹមឈរឈ្មោះឲ្យប្រជាពលរដ្ឋបោះឆ្នោតគឺតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងអត់មានអីខុសទេចឹងអានឡោមតាមនេះគឺគ្មានស្អីដែលខុសពីគោលការណ៍ប្រជាធិបតេយ្យទេ
Lieutenant General Hun Manet has stated that democracy is based on the will of the people, and whether a candidate comes from a line of politicians or not does not matter, as at the end of the day, it is down to the people's vote. Dekanin, EAC News.
Over the 3-day Chumben holiday, more than 1.2 million national and international tourists visited different capitals, cities, and provinces across Cambodia. According to the statistics released by the Ministry of Tourism on the number of domestic tourists recorded from 24th to 26th September 2022, over 1.25 national and international tourists traveled across Cambodia during the 3-day Chumben holiday. This includes over 1.24 national tourists and roughly 14,000 international tourists who traveled across all 25 provinces of the Kingdom of Cambodia during the festival. The 5 provinces that received the highest number of tourists were Battambang, Siem Reap, Kaip, Pursat, and Sihanoukville. At the same time, the Ministry of Tourism added that the flow of tourists during Chumben this year was more active, showing an increase of 89.43% compared to the 3 days of Chumben in 2021. The ministry also stated that the increase in the number of tourists was because the royal government allowed people to travel across the country and also visit pagodas, unlike last year. In 2021, people were only able to bring food to monks at the entrance of pagodas due to an outbreak of COVID-19. Traffic on the national roads was busy on Monday night as people left their respective hometowns to return to Phnom Penh, while other residents continue to return to the capital city today, especially garment workers who have received 4 to 5 days off for the festival. To handle security, public order, and traffic safety during this time, the Capital Provincial Administrative Unity Command was established with all levels of competent forces facilitating traffic and maintaining law and order on national roads and at other important locations. At the same time, the Department of Tourism in all capitals and provinces also visited main business establishments and tourist destinations to provide quality services at reasonable prices and continue to strengthen the implementation of tourism safety measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and avoid congestion. The Ministry of Tourism confirmed that the overall tourism situation and establishment of security and order was normal over the 3 days with no major problems, even though there was heavy rainfall, flooding, and congestion in some major areas and national roads.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has expressed his desire to boost economic and security ties with Cambodia. EAC News reporter Dashana Kojin has the details.
In a meeting with Prime Minister Hun Sen on Tuesday morning, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida thanked the Cambodian government for accepting Japanese self-defense force ships to dock in Cambodian waters earlier this year. In addition, he mentioned that the work Japan is doing in Cambodia needs to continue, especially in relation to the economic sector. As Japanese automotive manufacturing giant Toyota is soon to be established in Cambodia, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida asked Cambodia to continue supporting the arrival of more Japanese companies in the country. In turn, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Cambodia supports Japanese investors continuing to invest in Cambodia and hopes to discuss this further when he meets with Prime Minister Fumio Kishida again later this year. Prime Minister Hun Sen also formally invited Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to attend the ASEAN-Japan meeting and the East Asia meeting in Cambodia later this year, an invitation which the Japanese Prime Minister accepted. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The Minister of Culture and Fine Arts has expressed her admiration for the Prime Minister's childhood struggle and heroism as seen through the short film Life of a Pagoda Boy, adding that the younger generation should follow this as an example. At the premiere of the song and short film titled Life of a Pagoda Boy on Wednesday morning, the Minister of Culture and Fine Arts, Prince Sakana, said that all young people should continue to follow the Prime Minister's example without delay. She said if you want to do something, you should start doing it immediately with perseverance and patience.
ចាទឹកមកតមកតនៅស្រកអាចលុះថ្មបានអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាយើងគ្រាន់តែចង់រៀនក៏ប៉ុន្តែមិនតស៊ូព្យាយាមទេថ្ងៃក្រោយបោះបង់សាលាចោលចាអញ្ចឹងការតស៊ូរបស់សម្ដេចម្ដងបន្តិចដែលអំណត់ដោយយកការចេះដឹងជាគោលនេះគឺត្រូវមានហើយក៏ជាគំរូពិសេសសម្រាប់បងប្អូនយុវជនជំនាន់ក្រោយស្វែងរកឲ្យមានការតស៊ូការប្រឹងប្រែងដោយសន្សំម្ដងបន្តិចកុំចាប់ពឹបឡើងចង់បានពេក
The Culture Minister also called on the Cambodian Artists Association and all stakeholders to continue promoting this song and accompanying short film more widely to allow young people and the next generation of Cambodians to take it as an example to follow in order to gain experience and strengthen their capacities.
ដូច្នេះនៅក្នុងន័យនេះក្នុងនាមក្រសួងវប្បធម៌និងវិចិត្រសិល្បៈនិងក្នុងនាមខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ខ្ញុំសូមជំរុញនិងលើកទឹកចិត្តដល់សមាគមសិល្បករខ្មែរនិងគ្រប់ភាគីពាក់ព័ន្ធចូលរួមធ្វើការផ្សព្វផ្សាយស្នាដៃភាពយន្តចម្រៀងបទជីវិតក្មេងវត្តឲ្យបានកាន់តែទូលំទូលាយតាមគ្រប់មធ្យោបាយដើម្បីបំផុសស្មារតីកុលបុត្រកុលធីតាខ្មែរឲ្យបន្តខិតខំសិក្សារៀនសូត្រនិងដកស្រង់បទពិសោធន៍ពីគំរូវីរភាពរបស់សម្ដេចតេជោដើម្បីពង្រឹងលើកកម្រិតសមត្ថភាពខ្លួនព្រមទាំងត្រៀមខ្លួនចូលរួមចំណាយអភិវឌ្ឍសង្គមនាពេលអនាគតយើងសូមថែបានន័យថាយើងទ្រាំច្រើនថែរក្សាកុំបារម្ភនឹងគេបារម្ភនឹងខ្លួនឯងចាបើយើងមិនថែអត់ដឹងអ្នកណាជួយថែទេ
Minister Prince Sakana also asked the Cambodian Artists Association to continue contributing to efforts to create something new and preserve identity through production of Khmer songs, the display of Khmer food, Khmer clothes, and other cultural heritage artifacts such as the Chapei Dong Weng, traditional Khmer music, and more. Prime Minister Hun Sen has returned back to Cambodia after a week away attending the 77th United Nations General Assembly in New York, paying an official state visit to the Republic of Cuba, and attending the state funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in Tokyo, Japan. EAC News reporter Dashana Gojin has more.
The Prime Minister returned home safely this Wednesday afternoon after completing his mission in 3 countries. He departed from the airport in Tokyo, Japan early in the morning and arrived in Cambodia around 3 p.m. local time. From 21st to 23rd September, Prime Minister Hun Sen attended the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York City, held under the theme A Watershed Moment, Transformative Solutions to Interlocking Challenges. The Prime Minister then took a 3-hour flight from New York to the Republic of Cuba on 23rd September to make an official visit to the country again since his last visit in 2000 and strengthen existing ties. Finally, on 26 September, Prime Minister Hun Sen traveled to Tokyo, Japan, where he stayed for 2 nights to attend the funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. During his time in Japan, the Cambodian Prime Minister also met up with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
His Majesty the King of Cambodia and Her Majesty the Queen Mother of Cambodia have returned to Phnom Penh this Thursday afternoon after spending over a month in China undergoing a routine health checkup. The King and Queen Mother departed to China on 21st August 2022. The King and Queen Mother landed at Phnom Penh International Airport at around 4:15 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. Officials who greeted the king at the airport included Senate President Sai Chum, National Assembly President Heng Samrin, Prime Minister Hun Sen, the Minister of Interior Deputy Prime Minister Saw King, Minister of National Defense Deputy Prime Minister Thia Ban, and other senior government officials. The King and Queen Mother left for China on 21st August to undergo routine health checkups that they normally do twice a year. During his stay in China, the King of Cambodia paid an official visit to Hunan Province from 21st to 23rd September 2022, as requested by Chinese President Xi Jinping. On the morning of 22nd September, His Majesty the King visited a historical site in Hunan Province, which the former King and Queen Mother of Cambodia visited in 1963. Back then, the former king also donated a painting to President Mao Zedong, one which he personally painted himself, dedicated to the memory of China's heroic struggle for national liberation from foreign aggression. Prime Minister Hun Sen recalled a story in which he ordered the burning of a document requesting the establishment of a Taiwan mission to Cambodia in 2007, while speaking at the 6th National Interfaith Forum Against Human Trafficking on Thursday morning. The Prime Minister stated that at the time, there was a request to establish a Taiwan mission in the country to facilitate 5,000 Cambodian women who wished to marry Taiwanese men, but were unable to do so as they could not attain the documentation to go to Taiwan. The Prime Minister said he considered that this case may be related to human trafficking and also something which would oppress Cambodia by not being in respect to the principles of Chinese sovereignty.
Cambodia ទទួលដាក់នៅស្ថានទំនាក់ទំនងការទូតតែជាមួយសាធារណរដ្ឋប្រជាជនប្រជាមរិតចិនតែប៉ុណ្ណោះអ្នកកុំយកបញ្ហារឿងស្ត្រីប្រមាណពាន់នាក់យកមកបង្ខំឲ្យខ្ញុំទទួលដាក់បេសកកម្មដើម្បីថាបដោះស្រាយការបញ្ជាក់ចេញពីការិយាល័យរបស់គេនៅទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញដើម្បីបង្កើតភាពស្រស់ស្អាតរស់នៅឯតៃវ៉ាន់នេះជារឿងដល់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងតែប៉ុណ្ណឹងតើជាចេតនារបស់គេដើម្បីធ្វើរឿងនេះមកខាងគឺជួយដូរមនុស្សតែមកខាងទៀតយកអាបញ្ហាជួយដូរមនុស្សមកសង្កត់ឲ្យយើងអនុវត្តនៅនយោបាយដែលផ្ទុយទៅនឹងគោលការណ៍អធិបតេយ្យជាតិ
The Prime Minister stated that Cambodia welcomes investors from Taiwan but does not accept any mission to represent Taiwan in Cambodia. Cambodia abides by the One China policy, which means that it does not recognize Taiwan as an independent country, but rather as an island of the People's Republic of China. The Prime Minister of Cambodia often expresses his rejection and disapproval of those who believe Taiwan should secede from China. During a press conference for the 27th International Conference on the Future of Asia held on 27 May 2022, the Prime Minister said that the case of Taiwan is different from the case of Ukraine because Ukraine is an independent country, while even the United States considers Taiwan to be a province of China. He said that China is not stupid enough to cause bloodshed over this matter, as long as Taiwan does not declare independence and no other country invades Taiwan. At the time, he said, "From 1949 until now, has anyone seen China use force on Taiwan? All countries should respect China's independence and sovereignty, recognizing that Taiwan is a Chinese province. Why compare China and Taiwan to Russia and Ukraine? I do not agree with the issue of military intervention." The Prime Minister of Cambodia has declared 20th August as the National Interfaith Day Against Human Trafficking, a day for people of all faiths in Cambodia to evaluate the results of the fight against human trafficking in the year. Speaking at the 6th National Interfaith Anti-Human Trafficking Forum on Thursday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that from 20th August 2023 onwards, there will be organized gatherings of people from all religions in provinces, districts, and at the local level to present a yearly report on human trafficking and identify weaknesses in the implementation of safe villages and communes and evaluate the overall work against human trafficking in the country.
មិនមែនយើងធ្វើសកម្មភាពប្រឆាំងនឹងការជួញដូរមនុស្សត្រឹមតែមួយថ្ងៃទី20ខែសីហាទេគឺធ្វើ365ថ្ងៃតែម្ដងគឺធ្វើជាប់មិនដាច់
The Prime Minister said that he believes good interfaith cooperation in Cambodia will allow the government's efforts to combat human trafficking to be successful. According to a report from the chairman of the National Committee for Combating Human Trafficking, while the royal government has succeeded in preventing the trafficking of Cambodians abroad, a new phenomenon has emerged of criminals using Cambodian territory for fraudulent activities, such as human trafficking and forcibly detaining and using people as tools to deceive and scam others. In response to this growing issue, the royal government of Cambodia has issued a series of response measures. From 18th August until now, the royal government has received 368 victim complaints related to human trafficking activity and the illegal use of weapons, responding to 361 complaints that have led to the arrest of 41 suspects holding 3 different nationalities. The Prime Minister of Cambodia has called for the crackdown on illegal gambling and drugs at the local level to promote the successful implementation of the Safe Village and Commune policy. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has further details.
Speaking at the 6th National Interfaith Forum Against Human Trafficking on Thursday morning, Prime Minister Hun said that gambling at the local level has caused a lot of insecurity, including a rise in theft and violence. Combined with additional to drugs, gambling makes ensuring security in villages and communes even more challenging. He also added that cracking down on illegal gambling also helps eliminate human trafficking.
ដើម្បីភូមិឃុំមានសុវត្ថិភាពវិធីដែលល្អជំរុញការអនុវត្តបំបត្តិល្បែងស៊ីសងនៅតាមមូលដ្ឋានជំរុញបំបត្តិការជួញដូរគ្រឿងញៀននៅឯមូលដ្ឋានតែនោះវាជាធាតុផ្សំសម្រាប់ការទប់ស្កាត់ការជួញដូរមនុស្សប្រជាពលរដ្ឋរបស់យើងនឹងសម្បត្តិប្រកាសនឹងមានសុខដុមរមនា
The policy of safe villages and communes was launched in August 2010 after the Prime Minister announced the promotion of security and public order movement in Cambodia. Currently, there are 7 safe villages and communes that have been established, which provide transparent public services free of all forms of crime, including the illegal trade of drugs and gambling. These villages and communes have good public order, no incidents of human trafficking, domestic violence, or the presence of gangsters, along with high-quality, efficient, non-judicial dispute resolution. These villages and communes also have good aesthetic environments and also equipped to respond to disasters and epidemics in a timely manner. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Undersecretary of State of the Ministry of Public Works and Transport has led officers and representatives of expressway companies to inspect areas of the new Phnom Penh Scenic-Ville Expressway that some citizens have identified as being problematic. The Undersecretary instructed the expressway officers to study these potential problem areas to help find solutions for the citizens. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
Current problems related to the expressway include the theft of barbed wire fences, insufficient road protection, and the release of animals on the expressway. Undersecretary Sin Sakun led the team to inspect some areas of the expressway and requested people to stop cutting the surrounding barbed wire fence because it can cause serious harm to traffic. With guidance, he said that he accepted the request from citizens to discuss with construction companies to find solutions to some of the problems that have been identified. While visiting a section of the expressway in Village 4, Train Troyang Commune, Phnom Sruit District, Kampong Speu Province, a part of the barbed wire around the expressway was found cut near residential houses in order to create a pathway for people living in these homes. Undersecretary Siu Sukung personally inspected this and found out that there is an old abandoned road in the area which can be restored. In this case, in the spirit of resolving conflicts with the people, the Ministry and the Expressway Company have agreed to facilitate the clearing of existing roads for those who have been affected by the expressway, while also stressing that safety measures such as the barbed wire need to stay in place to prevent traffic accidents that cost people lives. In connection to this problem, Senior Minister Sun Chantol also called on local authorities to educate people living around the expressway to understand and stop this activity. It should be noted that the Phnom Penh Scenic-Ville Expressway will be open for free use for the full month of October 2022, and the Ministry of Public Works and Transport hopes that the public and drivers will follow safety instructions and respect the traffic law consistently. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Hun Manet, has reminded all graduating students that great successes can be achieved with many small successes. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more details.
Speaking at the graduation ceremony for the undergraduate, bachelor's and associate degree students at the University of Management and Economics in Kampong Cham on Wednesday, Lieutenant General Hun Manet stated the success of the university students come from many successful steps they have since their school and the first day. He added that they should no rush to succeed quickly because great success might take some time to study and practice. He also said the students must not forget to set their clear goals in their work activities and must keep looking forward to future results. He said receiving this degree means that they were winning students have completed other steps in their lives and have learnt important lessons for the next steps in both work and life. Lieutenant General Hun Manet also stated the Royal Government has given priority to education and training of human resources, identifying it as a key for the development of this country. This prioritisation includes factors such as sustainable growth, market competitiveness, globalisation, the rapid reduction of economic gaps between other countries and national independence. He said that to achieve these tasks, it is necessary to promote the qualifications of Cambodian human resources in terms of general knowledge, professional skills, external fitness and internal intelligence, including common virtues and morals. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Siem Reap's new $70 million attraction, ANGKOR Wildlife and Aquarium, is still on track to open its first phase towards the end of October. Located on approximately 8 hectares of land, the aquarium consists of 2,600 square meters and features both regional and international freshwater species, as well as a 600,000-liter saltwater tank. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis will share more information about this new attraction.
ANGKOR Wildlife and Aquarium is located about 30 kilometres southeast of Siem Reap along National Road 6 in Sornakom district. The AWA Park concept is to offer a world-class wildlife park and aquarium which would provide educational, preservation and conservation awareness in Cambodia's natural fauna and flora, said Bernard Jacques, the General Manager of ANGKOR Wildlife and Aquarium. AWA targets national and international travellers of all ages who can enjoy a series of activities and service within the park, such as recreational activities, a touch pool, lots of areas for visitors to take photos, gift shops, the AWA Cafe, food carts. Additionally, AWA Park will also be able to host events in the future. Siem Reap is expected to benefit greatly from this new attraction in terms of an enhanced social environment. The new jobs is creating an investment of AWA in local community which helps increase the length of stay of tourists. AWA Park is located on approximately 8 hectares of land with an aquarium that spans across 2,600 square metres and features both regional and international freshwater species, as well as a 600,000 litre saltwater aquarium tank. General Manager Bernard Jacques said the concept of the AWA Park was made around informing people about the fauna and flora of Cambodia within a beautiful landscape and recreational activities, which makes it quite unique. He added that he had been living in Cambodia for 25 years himself and had never seen some of the fish featured in the aquarium. The aquarium itself consists of 3 main areas. The freshwater area is located near the aquarium's entrance and features many different varieties of fresh food species. The aquarium itself consists of 3 main areas. The freshwater area is located near the aquarium's entrance and features many different varieties of freshwater species coming from Cambodia. Towards the end of the river fish exhibition, the visitors can also see different species from the Amazon area. The saltwater aquarium provides a fun venture into the ocean world, giving visitors the ability to enjoy the theatre-style sitting space, or they can enter the tunnel and see fish swimming overhead and all around them, providing a more immersive close-up experience. Lastly, there are also touch pools where children and adults will be able to touch and feel various friendly species of sea creatures. Siem Reap was chosen as the location of this new attraction because Angkor Wat temples have always acted as a culture hub for Cambodia, attracting the bulk of international tourists. Cambodia is also home to the largest lake in Southeast Asia in Tonle Sap and also has the 3rd largest river in its region, the Mekong River, passing through. Cambodia has the Lower Mekong Basin, which is the highest diversity of fish and is home to more than 850 different species. The AWA Park is also includes enclosures for wildlife species such as tigers, sun bears, Asian small-clawed otters, clivets, porcupines, weak-throated pythons, and also whip snakes, soon after elephants and more. AWA will not only be for sightseeing but also act as a conservation site for rare endangered Cambodian wildlife species. The park would help to educate younger generations and deepen their knowledge of local and international wildlife. Entry fees for Angkor Wildlife and Aquarium are 2 tiers. For Cambodian nationals and expats living in Cambodia, tickets are $5 for children and $10 for adults, while the international guests are $10 for children and $18 for adults. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
The Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Hun Manait, has pushed for finding markets for the sale of agricultural products produced by the military in order to increase the military's ability to move forward sustainably. EAC News reporter Dekanin has further details.
Speaking on behalf of the Prime Minister at the opening ceremony of the meeting to summarize the results of the Brotherhood Alliance between the units of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces and civilian units at the Ministry of National Defense on Thursday, Lieutenant General Hun Manait said that the Prime Minister has taken care to ensure the stability of the Army and the families of Army officers through the provision of land and housing, while the Ministry has also organized professional training for officers, especially in agriculture. He said, based on this, to increase the military's ability to move forward sustainably, military units and alliance partners can also work together to find and expand the market to be bigger and stronger. Production scale in the form of a scale economy, requiring the organization of communities, families, armies to grow crops to ensure that the supply of products in the market is sufficient and regular as needed. He added that this direction is also in line with the policy of the royal government to strengthen the agricultural sector, so promoting this work requires close cooperation and coordination between relevant ministries and institutions, with army and civilian entities as partners, and especially with the participation of the private sector. Lieutenant General Hun Manait also expressed his appreciation for the military units, ministries, civil institutions, companies, and donors who have paid attention to the work of the Brotherhood Alliance to achieve better results, and called for further encouragement to continue contributing to the implementation of national defense duties more actively to develop the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces to serve long-term interests and strategies of national defense. Dekanin, EAC News.
The Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology has called on the public to be extra vigilant as Cambodia experiences a risk of flooding with the Mekong River set to rise in the next 3 to 5 days. According to an announcement made by the Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology on Thursday regarding the flood situation with the Mekong River, Cambodia will face floods in the coming days as the weather changes due to the impact of Typhoon Noru, which was known as Super Typhoon Karding in the Philippines and particularly impacted the Philippines and Vietnam. The effects of the typhoon in the region are expected to bring heavy rainfall over the Mekong River basin in Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia. The ministry added that this will cause the Mekong River to rise in the next 3 to 5 days. The water level is likely to rise especially in the northern part of Cambodia. In Stung Treng Province, the water level may reach 1,000 meters. In Krache Province, it may reach 2,100 meters, and in Kampong Cham Province, it may reach 1,430 meters. At the Phnom Penh Chaktamok Hydrological Station, the water level may rise to 940 meters. The statement added that the river's rising water levels may have not yet reached an emergency level, but flooding may still occur in some low-lying areas along the river and may continue to flow into the canals. Additionally, the northeastern region of the country may also be at risk of flooding due to the rising Mekong River. The Prime Minister of Cambodia has just signed the annual taxable revenue list and the monthly payable tax rate, which is set to increase the tax rate by 2 million real or roughly $500 per year for business incomes or shareholders and by 20,000 real or roughly $5 for monthly salaries. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
The new tax limit allows businesses owners or non-legal individuals who earn up to 18 million riyal or roughly $4,500 per year, including those with monthly salary between 0 to 1.5 million riyal or 0 to roughly $375 to be exempt from taxation. According to the annual taxable income table and the list of monthly taxable salaries signed by the Prime Minister on Wednesday, the 28th of September, employees with a monthly salary of 1.5 million to 2 million riyal, or between $375 and $500, are subject to a 5% tax, while those with a salary from 2 million to 8.5 million riyal, or $500 to $2,125, are subject to a 10% tax. Those with a salary from 8.5 million riyal to 12.5 million riyal, or $2,125 to $3,125, will be taxed at 15%, and those with salaries above 12.5 million riyal, or roughly $3,125, will be taxed at 20%. This new tax setting also removes the old setting that has been in place since 2020. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Malaysian ambassador to Cambodia has said that future prime ministerial candidate Lieutenant General Hun Manet will be ready to be prime minister when the time comes. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis had the privilege to interview the ambassador of Malaysia and to also get some of his thoughts.
Sitting down with the Malaysian ambassador to Cambodia, Datuk Eldin Hussaini Muhammad Hassim, for an interview, he shared that he thinks the Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Hun Manet, will make a good leader for the country. He added that he thinks Hun Manet will be ready to take on the prime ministerial position when the time comes and has his own character.
Well, he is very au fait with the situation. He's very close with in terms of getting all these issues to his heart. I think he's been showing to the people, he's been going around to the public and talking to the Cambodians and as well to the foreigners as well. We can see the leadership in him, and of course when the time comes, I think he will be ready to take the challenge to become the Prime Minister, because of, you see, the background that he has, the position that he holds right now. He has been doing it so wonderfully. He's been going around and addressing to the public on what he thinks. He has his own character. He has his own leadership. He has his own thinking. And I'm sure he'll be a good leader once he's been taken the role as Prime Minister.
The ambassador also shared that he believes that bilateral relations between Cambodia and Malaysia will continue to grow and become stronger under Lieutenant General Hun Manet's leadership. The full in-depth interview EAC News conducted with the Malaysian ambassador will be released soon. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The spokesperson of the Ministry of Interior has said that the boat which sunk in Sihanoukville on 22nd September was smuggling people from China into Cambodia. Currently, at least 6 suspects have been taken into custody to face court proceedings. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Speaking to the press on Thursday, the 29th of September, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Interior, Keo Sopek, said that authorities investigated the boat sinking in Sihanoukville. They found that the boat was being used to smuggle illegal immigrants from China into Cambodia. The boat sinking accident occurred on the 22nd of September in the waters between Koh Rong Samilon and Koh Tang in Sihanoukville province. The boat was carrying a total of 43 people, including 41 Chinese nationals and 2 Cambodians. Upon receiving an alert about the boat sinking, the Specialised Force of Sihanoukville Province Police, in cooperation with the Water Border Police Force, were dispatched to try and rescue the victims. 24 people were successfully rescued by the Cambodian authorities, including 3 who were found dead, while rescue teams from Vietnam managed to rescue an additional 17 people, including 8 dead. The spokesman of the Ministry of Interior added that although interrogation and investigation, the police arrested 6 suspects, including 1 Chinese national and 5 Cambodians in connection to this case, immigrant smuggling. He confirmed that the 6 suspects have been referred to the Sihanoukville Province Court for legal action on Thursday, 29th of September. Among the 30 Chinese nationals who were rescued by authorities, 5 were suspected to be connected to cases of illegal immigration from China to Cambodia. However, all victims were handed over to the Chinese embassy. The 5 Chinese men who were suspected to connect to the cases of smuggling immigrants from China did not hold passports. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Thank you for watching the Weekly Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, you can check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team on Monday night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.